Okay, this is the last little bit for this week's refinement of this long pose. Okay, so we're going to just work into a few more things that are unfinished, right? And I already said I'm going to consciously neglect these guys, but we've gone in and we've done a little bit of work on the face, and so the thing that we need to kind of just uh, bring up to speed is this ear, right, and the other ear as well. Right, so here's the only time that you'll probably see me use symmetry in this exercise, and it's for the ear, just because I don't want to do two. Although we could do because they're not so they're pretty fast to do. But I want you guys to play with this. Activate symmetry, obviously, which is what happens when you hit X, and we've used that before. But you want to hit use posable symmetry. And you probably want to start at well, whatever level you're going to work at. It can be well, it should work through any of these, but I wouldn't use it at the highest level. I'd use it at levels 1 through 4, 1 through 5, subdivision levels, because at level 7 it can be it can take a long time to calculate, and it can sometimes cause problems. But yeah, so activate symmetry and use posable symmetry, and then we'll work on one side, and the other side will be doing its thing as we go. It's not going to be perfect because there are some subtle offsets already, but we'll just be in a better place to start with. Okay, so for ears, really first I want to get the size, right? So I'm just pulling out at level 1 the height. We don't have a lot of topology in here, right? This is just like almost a cube that's being subdivided. But what we're going to do is we're going to style in what is known as the helix, right? Which looks like this. Looks like a big, well, backwards number 9. And we're going to style in the antihelix. We're going to sculpt in the antihelix, which is like a Y, right? A backwards Y. These come down, and down at the bottom you have something known as the antitragus, and you have this little guy here in the front, which is known as the tragus, right? And off the bottom you have the earlobe. This is where your headphones go, right in here. I'll do this in yellow. Headphones go right in here, so if you can have headphones, it would just sit in there like that. And that's the magic, right? Obviously, what I've just drawn with lines, these have thickness, right? And so, and there's depth. But that's essentially what you do. You do helix, you do antihelix, and then down at the bottom, this is pushed in. This is like it's called the concha, or it's kind of the bowl of the ear, the horn that focuses all the sound coming in. Right, so as I kind of wipe away my drawing, you can kind of, hopefully in your mind's eye, see where we need to go. And typically this is mostly accomplished at higher subdivision levels. Once we roughly pull in our shape, we'll step up. And I'm actually going to switch over to the other ear, just because I think I wanted to do the 9 so that it actually looked like a 9, and a Y so that it actually looks like a Y for you guys. So again, that's where we're going. And I'll just step through this and you guys can see what's going to happen. So higher subdivision, like I was mentioning, pulling it around for a minute with the move brush. Pulled out a little tragus here. Now, the secret is drop this back a little bit. Drop the concha down, which means, you know, this is where the sound comes in. Ear hole is sitting back down in there. And then, almost with a single stroke of the standard brush, you can take this 9 up around off the kind of the crest of this the flat part, or the outer bit, and dive in to the concha. So this whole bit in here descends down to the bottom of the bowl, right? And that's going to be what I do next. Oh, look, there it goes. Pretty fast, right? So that's the 9 going in. and you can see that it's deep here and it's up on the surface, creating the outer bit of the ear. And then the rest in just a few strokes, we're kind of getting these things in. So the Y has just gone in, and this little bit of the Y sets up the wall of the bowl, right? So this is where all of this descends down to this depressed level, right off the edge of the Y. Okay. These two pieces of cartilage become kind of coincident coming down here. So the Y has its tail coming down, and the 9 comes down as well. And they start to go parallel in this kind of bottom third or bottom half until they finish. The cartilage finishes down here in some kind of crazy shapes. And then you have this fatty earlobe that hangs off. So the earlobe is just fat. The rest of this is crazy cartilage. Okay, wow. I think that's me considering myself finished for right now. Slightly ear shape, a little rough still. We'll need refinement, but it's in place. You can see that it doesn't match this ear, which is done with the active, the symmetry. Doesn't quite stand up. It's not a perfect match because there were offsets. And so we're going to go in and fix it in a minute. We're going to fine tune the back here. To really just kind of keep that separate. Put the bowl in at the back as best as possible and keep the top section detached. Right, this is way detached from the head, and the lower half is where the bowl is the part that's attached. I haven't done that perfectly, and I'm not going to because this guy's going to have a massive hair. So we won't see it. Okay, just refining the relatively failed symmetry, right? So this guy has 2 ears started anyways, okay? Have a play yourselves and see where you get to. It's not simple, but once you've done an ear a few times, it becomes almost a routine. And like I said, you just hammer through these shapes and you're done with an ear in less than a handful of minutes, we'll say. Okay, to finish this out, I might just play this through. And again, this is the long stage of the process, which is refining the shapes. And if I say something about all of this, every single refinement that I make will be here for ages and ages, and you guys will probably not get any extra value out of it. So I'll play it through, and hopefully you guys are observing this sort of stuff on your reference as we go. And again, I've already kind of expressed my displeasure with that area of the model. So I have it flagged as something that's in need of attention, and I will get to it. One of the big characteristics of this pose in the reference is just a really strong compression over on this side, right? We have a lot of skin wrinkles, which are going to be very delicate to treat. We have really strong compression and torsion of the external oblique. And so all of that is just kind of going to need a lot of attention to the line and the gesture. And so I have to refine that a bit still. His bum wasn't quite in the middle. His Crachius maximus is shifted off to the left. We have 2/3 and 1/3 of a gluteal region in here, so this needs to come over. So shifted at the lowest level. And a little bit more. Again, a little bit of a focus on the obliques. And that's going to take us to the end of this little section, right? So just a tiny bit of refinement at the end, just to tease you guys, really. But no, really, it's just part of the long process of bringing this guy to the step beyond block-in, right? And there's still much more to go. So this little turntable that I'm flipping through is just my diagnostic for, again, looking at areas that need all the attention, right? These legs aren't quite holding together yet, right? That's still falling apart for me. It needs volume. It needs refinement. And these, they don't quite hold up. They're still almost very generic. Likewise, I think that these calf muscles are not going to be exactly what we're seeing in the reference, because these things need to be stretched, right? These are stretched out and slightly different form. Okay, so those are the refinements. Forearm is quite generic in its contours, right? It's almost like two sticks going together. That will need to be fixed and refined down at the wrist. Fingers, obviously, need some love. Some of the modeling in here will need to be kind of just double checked and compare it against, maybe a little over modeled. I'm seeing quite a bit of over modeling in there, but again, something to verify, tweak the shaders, tweak the lighting to really confirm that sort of thing. And then probably we're going to work on more portraiture. We're going to work in some hair techniques. Look at that. It's going crazy. Little top knot for this guy as well. He'll be sweet. And nice hands and nice feet. Right, so quite a few things to go yet. And then the very last stage is going to be to really tighten up our surface. And you can see that I'm getting tighter already, but when we really want it to be smooth and naturalistic, we're going to take out all our brush marks, and we're going to just get the sense that it's soft and fleshy, or alternately hard and bony in the appropriate areas. Okay. Good luck this week. You guys have a lot of stuff to tackle. I think I've probably gone through this fairly quickly. A lot of this, I think, is review, because again, we've sculpted all of these things already, save the foot and the head. So this is almost like a redo of our fragments, but in this one is for all the stakes, right? High stakes. So good luck, and we'll be back again next week to take things to another level. Okay, good luck, and we'll see you then. Bye.